You know, for decades, the chemical industry has basically run on a tried and true formula. Patience, a ton of expertise, and, well, a lot of trial and error. But what if you could predict the perfect molecule before you even set foot in the lab? Well, today, we're going to dive into how artificial intelligence is doing exactly that. It's kicking off a whole new era of speed and precision.
So, if you're a chemist, a formulator, or maybe a technical manager, I'm guessing this question hits pretty close to home, right? That feeling, you know the one, of running trial after trial, just hoping for that breakthrough. It's a universal pain point. But seriously, what if there was a better way?
All right, so first up, let's just talk about the traditional way of doing things. For decades, chemical R&D has been a complete marathon. We're talking a slow, costly, and honestly a pretty frustrating race where breakthroughs weren't measured in days or weeks, but in months, sometimes even years.
I mean, just look at this journey from the lab bench to the factory floor. It's incredibly long. You're looking at half a year, maybe even more, just for the initial manual trials. And then you've got months more of data analysis and reformulation. And that's all before you even get to the really complex part of scaling up. It's just a massive drain on time, money, and talent.
Okay, but that old model, it's being completely upended. The AI revolution is here. And look, it's not here to replace chemists. That's a huge misconception. It's here to become their most powerful partner, fundamentally changing the very nature of discovery itself.
And the shift is, well, it's dramatic. Just check out this comparison. On one side, you've got the old way, slow, messy, super wasteful. And on the other, the new way, targeted, fast, and incredibly efficient. So instead of just reacting to failed experiments, AI lets chemists actually design successful ones right from the start. It's a fundamental move from guesswork to, well, precision.
So how exactly does AI pull this off? It sounds great in theory, but what's under the hood? Let's break down the specific tools that are transforming the entire workflow. I mean, literally, from a single molecule all the way to the final product hitting the market.
Well, it all starts at the micro level with tools like QSAR and QSPR models. Now, the easiest way to think of these is like a digital crystal ball for chemistry. Seriously, these are powerful algorithms that can predict how a molecule is going to behave. You know, its solubility, toxicity, stability, all of this before you waste a single drop of material in the lab. It's about knowing the outcome of an experiment before you even start it. Insane, right?
Okay, next up, we have AI-driven design of experiments, or DOE for short. And you can think of this as a super smart GPS for your research. Instead of you having to guess which road to take, it guides you to the most informative experiments. It literally helps you eliminate hundreds of potential dead ends, letting you find the perfect formula in just a fraction of the time.
So, what happens when you put all this together? You get this incredibly seamless, intelligent workflow. First, AI helps predict the properties. That in turn informs the design of new formulations. Then that data helps optimize the manufacturing process itself, making sure every single batch is consistent. See how that works? Each step intelligently informs the next. It's a beautiful thing.
And this intelligence, it doesn't just stop at the lab door. Oh no, it extends far beyond that. Out on the factory floor, AI is controlling processes in real time and even predicting equipment failures before they happen. In the supply chain, it's optimizing how you source raw materials. And even in the back office, it's helping navigate that absolute maze of regulatory compliance. Okay, the theory is impressive, I get it. But what about the real-world results, right? Let's talk brass tacks. Let's look at the measurable, absolutely game-changing impact that AI is having right now. 60%. Just let that number sink in for a second. 60%. This isn't some small incremental improvement we're talking about. This is a number that represents a complete paradigm shift in the industry. So, what does it actually mean? Well, that 60%, that represents time saved. It's the number of dead-end experiments that now never even need to be run. AI modeling is allowing R&D teams to just slash these trial and error cycles, turning what used to take months of painstaking lab work into just days of precise digital modeling.
So let's break that down into the language everyone in business understands. The bottom line. First, speed. When you reduce those trial cycles, you get a much faster time to market. Simple as that. Then there's cost. Optimizing materials and processes, that directly leads to less waste and lower expenses. And finally, innovation. Faster discovery gives companies a clear, undeniable competitive edge. It's a win-win-win. So where exactly is all this impact being felt the most? Well, as you might guess, R&D sees the biggest transformation, about 40%. But you can see how the benefits just ripple outwards from there. Manufacturing and formulation development aren't far behind at all. And even critical areas like compliance are seeing huge improvements. It really is a classic case of a rising tide lifting all boats.
All right, so after all that, what does this actually mean for you, the chemical professional listening to this right now? Here's the most important part. This technology isn't some far-off sci-fi dream. It's accessible, it's essential, and it is here right now.
You know, maybe the biggest barrier for a lot of professionals is the fear of code. The idea that you have to be a programmer to use AI. But here's the key, and I really want to stress this. Modern AI platforms are built for chemists, not for coders. You can leverage all of this incredible power without writing a single line of code. It's all done through intuitive interfaces designed for the work you already do.
Ultimately, what this is all about is future-proofing your career. It's about becoming that person on your team, the one who can answer the toughest questions faster and smarter than anyone else. Mastering these systems allows you to lead innovation, not just follow along. It lets you be the one to reshape how your company approaches its most critical challenges.
Look, in the chemical industry, AI has officially moved from being a nice-to-have to an absolute need-to-have. It's not a niche advantage anymore, it's the new standard for innovation. So the only question left is how are you going to use it?